students, this is your Borsha ma'am and today we will learn another lesson on chapter 6. Today we will start learning about the chemical change. Before going to the chapter, we first look about some activities. So the first one regarding to the chemical change is burning of magnesium ribbon. In this experiment, we need a magnesium ribbon, a china dish. Now what we will do, basically we will take a ribbon, clean one end with fine sandpaper and then burn that cleaned end. আমরা একটা ম্যাগনেসিয়াম রিবন নিচ্ছি, নিয়ে তার একটা এন্ড ভালো করে ক্লিন করে we are burning that end. Now what do we see? We see that the magnesium burns rapidly with dazzling white light and after burning it will produce a white powdery substance. ও যেরকম ছিল সেখান থেকে it completely changes and produces a completely new thing, that is a white powdery substance which is called magnesium oxide. It is a powdery substance and also this new substance is quite different from that magnesium substance because it is a basic solution as it turns the red litmus blue. So from this we can say that when we are doing such type of reaction we are getting a completely new substance. So from this reaction we can conclude that in this type of reaction one or more new substances are formed. You can see that the new powdery white powdery substance which we are calling magnesium oxide is formed. Then the new substance formed have a along together different properties. যে নতুন সাবস্টেন্সটা তৈরি হচ্ছে that has different properties. In some cases energy is formed or heat or light may be given or absorbed. Also you can see the reaction, you can see that in that case also a heat is formed. Heat কিন্তু তৈরি হয়েছে, look, heat is formed, right? So in this case also heat is formed. So what are happening here? Here new substances are forming. They have different properties than the previous one and also some energy in form of either heat or light may be given or may be absorbed. Okay, so this type of changes where new type of element are coming or the composition or chemical properties of the substances are changing completely are called chemical changes. So physical change আমরা কি দেখেছিলাম, only the physical property of the element is changing but the basic thing is same. বেসিক যে এলিমেন্ট সেটা কিন্তু একই থাকছিল, but in this case the basic element is completely changed into another element. আমার বেসিক ছিল এখানে magnesium and oxide and it is completely changed into another substance which is magnesium oxide and both of them are quite different. Their chemical properties are different, their composition are different. So in this case new substances are forming and that is called chemical changes. Okay, one or more new substances are formed. এটা একটা ব্যাপার, একটা বা তার বেশিও হতে পারে and also another important thing that heat or light may be evolved or absorbed in this during this change. In chemical change the substances that are formed are completely different from the original substances. That means they have also the different properties of that original substances. You can obviously see that magnesium and oxygen, these two are completely different than the newly produced magnesium oxide. Also, chemical changes may occur only under proper condition. For example, when we burn a carbon dioxide is produced. Coal ba charcoal, when we burn it, they are made up of carbon, and when we burn carbon dioxide is produced, and this carbon dioxide has properties entirely different from those carbon. So burning of coal or burning of carbon is also a chemical change. তো দেখা যাচ্ছে যে chemical change এ নতুন element তৈরি হচ্ছে, and they have completely different properties than those of the original one, and also we have to give some energy in form of light or heat is producing যে কোনো একটা. Now let's learn about some example of chemical changes. তো প্রথমেই আমি যেমন বললাম, burning of coal, apart from it any burning, wood, paper, kerosene, LPG, petroleum, যে কোনো বার্নিং কিন্তু এই কেমিক্যাল চেঞ্জের আন্ডারে পড়ছে. এনিথিং দ্যাট উই বার্ন, দ্যাট মে বি wood, paper, anything. Burning of candle, formation of curd from milk, আমরা যখন দুধ থেকে দই তৈরি করছি. Rusting of iron, ripening of fruit growing of a plant into tree, bursting of cracker, digestion of food, etc. তো in this case আমি আরও একটা জিনিস বলে দিই যে as you can see that chemical changes are producing completely new thing, and this is also irreversible change, যেটা আমরা পড়েছিলাম in the previous lesson যে what is irreversible and what is reversible. তো chemical change is completely irreversible change. That means we cannot change it into the previous one. যেমন when a burning of coal or a wood happens, we cannot get back that coal or that wood from that burning part. আমরা কিন্তু আর আগেরটা ফিরে পাই না উইথ রিভার্সিং দ্য কন্ডিশন রিভার্স করে কিন্তু আমরা আবার মেন এলিমেন্টটা ফিরে পাই না. সো দ্যাট ইজ ওয়াই দে আর ইরিভার্সিবল চেঞ্জেস. Now let's learn about the characteristics of chemical change. So what are the characteristics? First of all, in chemical change, new substance with different properties are formed. এটা হচ্ছে main characteristics. New substance তৈরি হচ্ছে and they have different properties. Second, chemical changes are permanent and they cannot be reversed by simple physical methods, যেটা আমরা physical change এ দেখেছিলাম. Physical change is not permanent, they are temporary and we can change the condition, but in chemical change we cannot change the condition with the reversing of the situation. Chemical change occur only under proper condition. একটা পার্টিকুলার কন্ডিশনের আন্ডারেই কিন্তু কেমিক্যাল চেঞ্জটা হয়. যেমন আমি বললাম we have to burn it or we have to react it, যে কোনো একটা কন্ডিশন দিতে লাগে. Relatively large amount of heat is either absorbed or evolved during a chemical change. We have already discussed about it. Always we have to give some heat or some heat will be evolved, and that amount is relatively high. It's measurable amount of heat. Okay, খুব small amount of heat নয়, ভালো রকম হিটই কিন্তু evolve বা absorbed হয়. আচ্ছা, in addition we can also add some things like energy is in the form of light, sound may also be produced. Yes, obviously energy যেটা তৈরি হচ্ছে সেটা বিভিন্ন ফর্ম থাকতে পারে. It may be in light formation, it may be in sound formation, it may be in heat formation. Change in smell may occur or a new smell may be given off. The smell may be pleasant or pungent. স্মেলের চেঞ্জ হতে পারে, নতুন স্মেল তৈরি হতে পারে, বা স্মেল যে আগে যেরকম ছিল এখন সেটা আলাদা হতে পারে. দ্যাট স্মেল মে বি গুড অর ব্যাড. কালার চেঞ্জ হতে পারে, কালার মে বি চেঞ্জড. precipitation may be formed. Precipitation means when we react something, after that reaction you can see that some substance can gather at the bottom of the reactant element. যে ইকুইপমেন্টে বা যে জায়গাতে আমি রিয়াকশনটা করছি, at the bottom of that beaker or at the bottom of that test tube some substance is gathered, so that is called precipitate. Okay, তো সেটাও তৈরি হতে পারে. So these are the extra thing about the chemical change. Apart from this, আমি যেগুলো বললাম যে new substance with new property, the chemical change is permanent, then energy in a high amount can be produced or absorbed. Also chemical change may occur only under proper condition. These are all the characteristics of chemical changes. Now let's discuss about some typical chemical changes. Okay, so there are several examples that I have already discussed, that burning of coal, rusting of iron, food digestion, germination of seeds. So here we will discuss about some of them. So first of all we will discuss about the rusting of iron. Why is rusting considered to be a chemical change? কেন রাস্টিংকে বলা হয় chemical change? Now at first you have to know what is rusting. Okay, so basically when we exposed an iron in moist air, it get covered with some reddish brown particles, and that reddish brown particles is called the rust. যখন আমরা আয়রনকে বা আয়রনের কোনো জিনিসকে দীর্ঘদিন ধরে বাইরে আমরা ফেলে রাখি, দেখবে মানে এয়ারে বা ময়েশ্চারে, ওটা এয়ার আর ময়েশ্চারের সঙ্গে রিয়্যাক্ট করে ওর ওপরে একটা রেডিশ ব্রাউন লেয়ার তৈরি হয়ে যায়, and that layer is called the rust. And the formation of rust make the iron very brittle. আয়রনটাকে খুব নষ্ট করে দেয় এবং আয়রনটাকে খুব মানে কি বলবো ভেঙে দেয়. And this process of formation of rust on the surface of iron is called the rusting. Now why we are calling this rusting as a chemical change? Because the composition and properties of rust are completely different from that iron. Iron এবং রাস্টের যে কম্পোজিশনটা এটা completely different, and it is a permanent method because rust cannot be converted back to iron by simple physical method. এটা কিন্তু এই যে চেঞ্জটা, it is permanent change because we cannot get back the iron from that rust. Okay, so that is why it is a chemical change. আমি বলেছি যে chemical change হওয়ার দুটো বা তিনটে মেইন পয়েন্ট থাকবে, যে নিউ সাবস্টেন্স হ্যাভ টু বি ফর্ম, দে হ্যাভ নিউ প্রপার্টিজ, and we cannot get back the original one from that new substance. So you can see that all of the three properties has been worked here, এখানে কাজ করে গেছে, তো it is a chemical change. Similarly for candle burning, actually it is a mixed process, candle burning. So when the candle is burning, the cotton thread inside the candle is burning, and it is slowly it is vanishing. যে কটন থ্রেডটা থাকে, যে সুতোটা ক্যান্ডেলের, সেটা কমপ্লিটলি বার্ন হচ্ছে। অ্যান্ড অলসো সাম অ্যামাউন্ট অফ ওয়্যাক্স বা মোমবাতির যে জিনিসটা ওয়্যাক্স, দ্যাট অলসো বার্নিং অ্যান্ড প্রডিউসিং কার্বন ডাইঅক্সাইড অ্যান্ড ওয়াটার ভেপার, right? So we cannot get back that burnt wax, and we cannot get back the thread also in original form. So that is why it is a chemical change. যে পরিমাণ ক্যান্ডেলটা বার্ন হয়ে গেছে বা যে থ্রেডটা বার্ন হয়ে গেছে, আমরা কিন্তু সেটাকে আর ফিরিয়ে আনতে পারি না। তো ইট ইজ আ কেমিক্যাল চেঞ্জ। অলসো সাম অ্যামাউন্ট অফ ওয়্যাক্স ইজ ইন মোল্টেন ফর্ম। পাশে দেখবে যখন মোমবাতি জ্বলে কিছু পরিমাণ যে মোমবাতি গলে গলে পড়ে, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য মোল্টেন ওয়্যাক্স, and this molten wax is a physical process. If you again melt it, from that we can get the wax, right? তো molten wax এর থেকে কিন্তু আবার আমরা ওয়্যাক্সটা ফিরে পাই, but the thread and the burnt wax cannot be recovered. তো বেসিক্যালি আমরা বলতে পারি বার্নিং ইজ দ্য মিক্সড প্রসেস অফ কেমিক্যাল অ্যান্ড ফিজিক্যাল চেঞ্জ। এখানে কিন্তু কেমিক্যাল চেঞ্জ এবং ফিজিক্যাল চেঞ্জ দুটোই বার্নিংয়ে আমরা দেখতে পাই। Similarly, when we are converting milk into curd, there is also a chemical change happens, because the property, the texture, the taste of curd are quite different from that milk. Milk এবং curd এ যদি আমরা property check করি, all of them are different. Also their texture, যেটাকে দুটো দেখতেও কিন্তু আলাদা হয়, কালারের কথা বলছি না, টেস্ট ওয়াইজ অ্যান্ড টেক্সচার ওয়াইজ। মিল্ক ইজ লিকুইড, কার্ড ইজ নট আ লিকুইড, ইট ইজ আ সেমি সলিড থিং, and also it is not possible to get back milk from that curd. It is the main thing. So it is obviously a chemical change. Similarly, digestion process is also a chemical change. Melting of butter to make ghee is also a chemical change. তো বেসিক্যালি কেমিক্যাল চেঞ্জ হওয়ার জন্য আমাকে কি দেখতে হবে, যে নিউ থিংস আর ফর্মড, দ্য property of that new thing and that original thing are quite different, and also the most important thing that we cannot get back the original thing from that new thing. তো এখানে যে কটা example we have discussed, all of them are chemical change because these three properties work in all of the examples, right? Now here comes the difference between physical and chemical change, so you can obviously understood about the both of them and you can easily find the differences. The main difference is no new substances is formed in physical change, whereas one or more new substance are formed in chemical change. Physical change is temporary and reversible, that means it can be easily reversed, but chemical change is not. It is a permanent change and we cannot reverse it. Original substance and newly made substance are quite same to each other in physical change, but chemical change, for chemical change, original substance is completely different from the newly substance, and also original substance cannot be obtained by simple physical method, whereas it can possible in physical change. And also in physical change, only the physical properties like color, like physical state, volume, these are changing, but the chemical property and chemical composition remain unchanged, whereas in chemical change the chemical property and chemical composition, which two are the main things, these two are completely changed. So these are the differences between physical and chemical changes.